Hello everyone. Okay, well, we hear a lot of stories about deforestation, about destroying the landscape, and I agree there are a lot of areas that shouldn't be touched. There are areas that are in the world that where the wildlife will be so badly affected it'll die out. There's areas where it's so dry that the trees won't grow back. But this is Tasmania, and I just want to show you the reality of the situation. Okay, we get fed lies on TV, we get fed lies by the Greens. This is the reality. Okay, I've started with a area that's a little bit barren. Yeah, this is where and I don't agree with this, they burn off the wood, whereas people use. I might be cutting firewood, I'm cutting, this is just the branches and stuff that they leave behind when they fell the trees, and I wish they wouldn't actually burn them, because people could use that to warm their homes instead of just wasting it. Anyway, we're going to spin around a bit. This area I know for absolute sure, because I've been coming up this same area for the last 5 years. This particular spot, they harvested the trees here 2 years ago. Okay, now let's have a spin around and have a look at it. Okay, all of this new growth is less than 2 years old. Okay. And they rarely ever clear fell now. The only time they'll clear fell is if they're going to do like a pine plantation or a specified type of tree. They will clear fell. But most of the time they leave the younger trees because it's in their best interest anyway. In another 10 to 20 years, all these taller trees will be getting harvested, and these smaller ones will be the taller ones. And this hasn't been replanted. All of this new growth you're seeing has just sprung up by itself. It's it's all just grown from the seeds that were dropped by the previous trees. As I said, it's Tasmania. We get regular rainfall. We barely go 2 weeks without some sort of rainfall. And trees, the bush grows very rapidly here. And it's a shame actually I can't see wildlife at the moment, probably because I've been making a whole lot of noise. They've cleared out. But normally when you drive along here, you regularly see the wallabies and kangaroos hopping through. There's birds. This place is teeming with wildlife, and it actually thrives on the wildlife thrives on the knocking down of the bigger trees. When you get an old growth canopy, it's dark on top. It's dark at ground level. There's nothing growing at ground level. There's nothing for the animals to eat at ground level. And if you go into these old growth forests, all you'll find is snakes, beetles, ants. That's all that lives there. And as I said, because there's no food at ground level to eat. The other thing is that the old growth trees, once they get to a certain point, they go stagnant, and all the lower branches, leaves all die off, and all you got is a tiny little bit of growth on top. And as far as filtering the air and producing new oxygen, it's stagnant. It's not, absorbing as much carbon or producing as much, anywhere near as much oxygen as what these young trees are. Yeah? This is another myth promoted by people that, you know, only the bigger trees are producing oxygen. That's ridiculous. Everything that is green is producing oxygen. It's filtering carbon out of the air and producing oxygen, even the grass on the ground. So this is the reality. So for anybody who's wanting to have a protest or, you know, stop timber production, this is the most sustainable industry on earth in certain areas. As I said, you've got to be selective, you've got to be, you know, sensible about it. And, yeah, and it's also people's livelihoods. You know, the timber industry, you know, not only provides the timber for your houses, it's wages for the timber cutters, for the hardware stores, for the truck drivers, for the mechanics, fuel stations, you know, takeaway foods. It's livelihood of a lot of people. And as I said, it's a sustainable industry. Yeah. This is actually good for the environment. So if you're going to get all upset, you know, upset about cutting trees down, yeah, learn the facts first. Don't get your facts from one source. And but still, come down and have a look. Yeah? And don't just be selective about it. Don't just go to one area that might have been cleared for a pine forest and say, oh, look, they've wrecked the whole environment, you know. Travel around the state. Travel to different areas. Look at, you know, the areas that were harvested a year ago, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. You know? And get all your facts right before you start protesting and you know, doing people out of their jobs for no reason. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I can clear up a few myths. I've cleared up a few myths here. Okay, bye.